Welcome back to Toyota Garage, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am, because I'm working on the old 98 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with that 6-cylinder engine in it. And today we're changing out the rear brakes, doing the wheel cylinder, pads, and the drum. Pretty easy. A little rusty, but that is okay. I'll show you all the tools that we're going to use, and I will show you all the parts that we're going to use, as well as I'm going to put a link in the description, so take all the guesswork out. You can just click on the part and you'll know that it'll fit your old Toyota. First, word from our sponsors, me. Make sure to go check out the Toyota Garage fourth wall merchandise store. At the bottom of this video, you can get a variety of different hats, different colors. You can get mugs, you can get shirts, hoodies, jackets, pretty much anything you want in any color that you want. Sure does help the channel. Now let's get you turned around and show you what we are working with. GoPro case, don't need that. So here's the tools that we used. You'll need a 10mm for the brake line and the cylinder. Another 10mm. This I'll show you why we have an extension on it. Picks are always helpful. A variety of screwdrivers. If you have, they make special tools to take apart all the springs and stuff for the drums, but I don't have those, so we're using screwdrivers and kind of whatever I got. Impact for the wheel, a 4-pound hammer to knock in this pin. This pin I'll show you in a minute. Well, there's a variety of other little doodads, the hammers, wrenches. You don't need that, but I've been cleaning up my frame and stuff as I go and giving it a little bit of paint just to prolong things. For the parts, got your wheel cylinder right here. Let's see, there's your part number, 375-76028. I got a drum spring kit here. This comes with both sides, so I already have one side installed. This is the last side. There's the other part to the drum, or to the brake kit. There's your pads that you need, and then there's the drum. So, already got the one side on there. Painted the drum all the way so it's black. Sanded down the frame and painted that. And now we're going to get to this side. As you see, this one's pretty dirty, pretty rusty. Looks like I need to jack that up a little bit, but then let's go ahead and get to work. So first things first, chock your wheels, and if you have an impact, you can go ahead and jack your truck up too. If you don't have an impact, you're using the star wrench or whatever hand tools, then loosen up your lugs first before you jack it up. It'll just be a lot easier, your wheels won't spin, but with a impact it doesn't matter too much. Okay, it's a little stuck. Give it a little tap. It's important to take a photo, or you can take a screenshot of this if you want, but you want to take a photo of the orientation of everything, where your springs are, where your adjuster is, where your wheel cylinder is, where all your little adjusters are, where all these little cables are. There's a little cable right there, little cable right there, those stay on. It's pretty straightforward. So it worked out for me. It's taking off this bottom spring first. That kind of loosened up everything else. They make special tools to take these springs off, but these work just fine most of the time. There we go. It's probably a little more finesse involved. And they got these keepers right here. There's one on each side. Probably the worst part about it is taking these guys off. But what worked for me is using some pliers to push it in and give that a twist so that it comes out. Just pops through the back there. The kit comes with new ones, so you don't need that. But it's the same procedure as the other side. Okay. Pry that open up a little bit. It's going to make it easier to get this like giant brake cable out. That's just kind of secure in the bottom. There we go. And see how the brakes are kind of tucked behind here. Pull it out from there. And the whole unit comes out. Now we'll get the master cylinder, or not the master cylinder, we'll get this brake cylinder out. We'll clean it up a little bit, hit it with a little penetrating oil. So you can see your brake cylinder right here. Got 10 millimeter on each side, here and here, and the brake line. Your brake line's probably been on there quite a while and it's probably pretty rusty. I'm going to go ahead and try to clean it up the best I can. Hit it with another douse of penetrating oil. Alright, let me see if I can get you a little light here. Now, you don't want to break it. I mean, you don't want to snap the line. So, and this one's pretty rusty. Oh no. So I'm going to try to work it back and forth without actually breaking the brake line, because the last thing I want is for the nut to be rusted onto the line and then it'll just snap the line and then I gotta replace the whole brake line. The other side came out a little easier than this. Tabs. There she goes. Now see, probably see the line moving over so slightly. I'm just going to keep loosening it, tightening it, try to work some of that penetrating oil in there, try to break some of that rust. Each time we'll go a little bit more. Okay, there, it looks like I broke free and some fluid starting to, or some air actually, some air was starting to creep through. Okay, she's feeling pretty good now. Oh yeah, we had some air in the lines. It's probably loose now. Yeah, okay. So with the 10 mil, I was able to sneak by our, I'm assuming that this is our ABS speed sensor. I was able to sneak by with an extension. That loosened up. I think you can do it with that other side. Get that loosened up. I use my power ratchet because I can. And you want to save your bolts because we're going to reuse those to put in the other new cylinder. Now, that come off with a little bit of a whack, and now it's free. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and brush this off now, clean up some of that dust. All right, so you're gonna want to reuse your two screws here, your two little bolts, and clean them up a little bit, get some of those rust off. Now you don't have to do this, but I put just a little bit of anise in there and around here, just to make it easier for the next guy to take off, which is probably going to be me. Like I said, not necessary, but if it's your own truck, you're going to be working on it, you might as well. Now, go ahead and put in the cylinder first. Now my power wrench will take it to about 35 pounds or so, but I like to give it a little extra just to make sure. There. I don't know if you really want to see this, but I'm going to put on a brake line. Oh, looks like that doesn't want to bend for me. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen this back up. Just a little bit. Get that brake line in there. I don't know what the exact torque spec is, but you'll be able to feel it. Okay, so the only piece that we need to reuse here is this longer piece down on the bottom, that hook that hooks onto this wire here. So the kit will come with a spring, the adjuster, this top piece, and all the clips we need. We just have to get these out of the way. On the back, there's a spring, I think. Just pop that off. And the spring pops off with it. Toss those aside. Go ahead and twist this up a little bit. Try to that out of the way. Get that out of the way. This is toast. This is the only piece we need, is this right here. These are kind of crimped in a little bit, so we'll try to get our screwdriver in between it. Okay, we got it. And we'll go ahead, put it right back on the new brake. Put this guy on. Now this piece is going to go on like this. We're going to need to get our spring that looks like this on there. The back hooks in right here. And this little groove right there. And then it hooks on that end hole. That slides over, that slides on, so that looks like that. Put our little keeper clip on here. Pinch it in place. Now your other adjuster is probably pretty well expanded, especially if your brakes look like this. The reason is as your pads wear, your cylinder, as it maxes out, won't be able to press your pads up against your drum, and so the expander pushes it out to give it a new starting point. Your new one you're going to want to have pretty far in, if not all the way in, so that your brakes aren't fully expanded out, because if they are, you won't be able to get on your new drum, or your old drum if you're using it. So, got our spring. Oops, I've skipped a step. Dang it. We're supposed to put this end piece on first. 1 second. Alright. We got to put this guy in here. So this little nub goes right here. This will go over that. Let's go in here. Try to get that in all the way. So that sits like that. The little slot sticks in there. And then we'll try to fit it all in place here. So it looks like that. Let me put our keeper on. Now we are on our way to being put together. Okay. Okay. So that's going to go in like that. And okay. So we're going to put this spring, short end goes on the end with all the mechanisms, this spring on the back side, and this is going to go through up and over, and we got to make it connect there. Right, here's my vice grips. Nope, not quite. There we go. So that is now clipped on. All right, we're ready to put our unit on here. Expand that out a little bit. There we go. I'm going to put our keeper pins in. Going to go through this middle hole, the bigger one, on both sides. So we're going to put the protruding side out. Put that in there. Spin it so it locks. Oh, I see the kit comes with some short ones and some long ones. We want the longer pins. That's what we want. Now for the fun part, we're going to go ahead and put this on. So I like to line it up so this is flat, so I can just put it right on and twist it. I'm going to put our spring on, put that on, push it with my thumb, or push it with my finger from the back, and then put that on, give it a little bit of twist. There we go. cable on. Hooks on. We got this little spring to put on the bottom here. Get you in there. It's going to go right here. Let's see if I can see that. Hopefully you can see that. So it's going to connect from here to here, and we got to run the spring behind this little lip. And it hooks inwards. There we go. Okay, now it's all put back together. Now, one thing I goofed on is I used the same side shoe on this side. So one of these guys, this one's supposed to be on the other side, but oh well, live and learn. My first time working on Toyota brakes. A little bit different than a Chevy, but not too bad. All we got to do now is throw in our drum, tighten everything back up, and then bleed the brakes, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this drum back on, and then I'm going to get to all this rust and dirt off camera. Give a little paint. Since I'm here, it's open, exposed. Why not? I'm trying to save on this Toyota a little bit. Okay, here we go. Just like that. Put your tire on, bleed your brakes, you're good to go. Got her ground down a little bit there. Just what we can see. Need to take the bed off to do a proper job. Go ahead and paint it, slap that wheel back on, do some brake bleeding.